Jeremy, it's great to see you back in the famous red, white and blue of Team USA. A word on how it feels to be back at the helm?
Very good. Something I really wanted. A little suspenseful this year, not knowing, but you know, that's the way it is. Busy people on y'all's end, and looking to get better at what I did the last few years. I need to improve a little bit. I'm very, very happy to have that chance.
Let's go back to December 2022 in Las Vegas. How do you reflect on that week for yourself personally and the team, and how they held themselves in front of that home crowd?
Well, I was super proud of them. I thought they competed really well. They stuck to most of the information that we went over. You know, like any Mosconi Cup, you can lose your brain occasionally out there. I probably lost my brain a little bit on the sidelines at times, but it was a great week. I mean, we were in position to win that cup. A couple of things got away, kind of like 2021 to be fair, and so we got to look at that and try and move forward.
You've had 5 years now with Team USA, both as a vice captain, as a captain. How have you grown personally and also managing the expectations of the nation and the biggest event of the year?
Well, you know, the first couple of years as an assistant, I learned a lot from the team. I learned some things from the captain. Then tried to kind of add myself to it as well, and me playing in the event, experiencing what it's all about and what you can feel out there. You know, it's a wide spectrum of feelings, right? And then trying to apply that to our players. And you know, it's a up and down kind of situation. You have to check your nerves and your thoughts at all times, I think. And then you know you have to have your players on the forefront of your mind. So there's a lot to learn at all times. I think kind of understanding the situations and what your players are doing is the biggest pieces to winning. But yeah, it's always something new at the Mosconi.
You're still awaiting the first name on the sheet for your team this year. I'm sure you've got a pretty good idea of a couple of names that are going to be in that team. But how much have you been looking into possibly some new faces this year?
Well, absolutely. That's the goal, is to have opportunity. It's a numbers game. You want those chances with the new faces, and some of them have shown, you know, some real game and heading in the right direction. I anticipate a new face or two on the team this year, whether that be by points or by choice. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think if it wasn't in that case, America would be in bigger trouble.
You've had some great memories at Alexandra Palace, most famously that year in 2018. How important is it for you to get your hands on that silverware back in that famous arena?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, it's a very serious thing to me. You know, some players through the years had looked at it kind of like an exhibition or whatnot. I've never looked at it that way. I don't think I could look myself in the mirror if I looked at it that way, but that's the goal. I mean, you know, improving from year to year, that's one thing, and that's a great thing to do, and that's, you know, the direction you want to head in, but we're professionals and we're here to win that cup and getting our hands on that in the 30th year, and it's named after one of the greatest ever, and he was American, so it belongs to us.
You'll be facing off against a new European captain this year. Germany's Ralf Eckert is the new leading man. Tell me a little bit about your experiences with him over the years and your initial reaction to that news.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised about the news of it. Get into that in a moment, but I met Ralf probably around 91, 92. He used to come to Texas and spend some time with one of the greatest to ever play the game from Texas, Bob Vanover. And he was a competitor at that time, and even though he's away from the game, you know, in a competing way, you know, he's a guy that I know wants to win if he's involved. And Ralph's a great guy, pure class, and I'm sure he'll be a great leader for Team Europe.
And as we know, the Mosconi Cup atmosphere is unlike no other, especially that Alexandra Palace crowd. How will you manage your emotions heading into that week, and also, most importantly, the team heading into that opening day as well?
Well, that's something that I've learned a little bit the last few years. It's easy to get very involved. It's easy to let the blood boil a little too quickly and easily, right? But you got to take it in. You got to stay in the moment. You know, all those cliches, they stick around for damn good reason, right? Because they're pretty true. So You know, keep the boys in the moment, keep myself in the moment. Just try and slow everything down as much as you can. We want as long a night, as long as evenings as we can out there in the arena, and then let the chips fall where they may.
And December may seem a way off with a lot of pool to play between now and then. Have you already started to think about possible wildcard selections for your team as well, or will you wait for those automatic spots to be filled?
Oh no, absolutely. I've looked at a lot of things. You know, the anticipation of being a possible captain again. I've looked all year. To be fair, I mean, and thrown my little tidbits at times to different players and really to the Matchroom team. You know, because I didn't know if I was going to be captain or not, but I still wanted America in its best position to win.
And obviously you guys are coming off the back of 3 Mosconi Cup losses, but it's fair to say you've been well within touching distance in a couple of those cups, particularly the last few. How can you build on that experience and turn it importantly into a title win this December?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got to, you know, keep the guys positive. I think they realized they were in position to win the last 2 years. I really feel that, and you know, like I said, feed off the positive, recognize where we went wrong, myself included, and just trying to improve. You know, our team's there to fight, you know, and that's our biggest asset is our fight, and so we're gonna keep reminding them of that constantly. You know, we're there to go toe-to-toe with the best in the world.
And lastly, have you got any words for the millions of Americans that will be tuning in back home in December, and also those that will be turning up to London?
Yeah, it's going to be the best one yet. We go in there expecting a victory and kind of expect the fans on our side, which they have always been great. American fans are true. Maybe not as crazy as the Europeans at times, but they stick with us the entire way through, and that's what it's going to take to get this cup.